Yeah, Kathy, Durant was not kidding about how gusty the wind is right now. In fact, I'm going to hold on to you guys so no need to blow away. But the scene here on Hinkleville Road is definitely starting to pick up. You can see crews have finally arrived to try to fix these two poles that blew over when the tornado hit. Well, Jeff, it was one of the sunniest and warmest days it's been out here in weeks, but as you can tell, it wasn't quite enough to do much about all the floodwater in Metropolis right now. A lot of it is in homes like this one behind me, but for so many other people are watching water creep up to their homes very slowly. Yeah, Jeff, it is the end of a very, very long day here in Murfreesboro. This is the building where they had all their negotiations since 4 o'clock, and they only just got out a minute ago. But just moments ago, I did receive the update from the school board saying that they have reached a tentative agreement, and details will come after the association ratifies and the board approves, and school will be in session tomorrow. Here's what Miley told me is wrong with this part of 127. Essentially, beneath everything, there's a layer of limestone. On top of that, a layer of rock, soil, dirt, and other things, and then the road. The problem is all the rain that we have washes away the soil and rock layer, but not the limestone. And that's why this part of the road looks like this. Something a few people have told me they used to really like about the Grand was how affordable all the tickets were. Yeah, that, and they told me the snacks used to be super cheap too. So Lucas is actually ranked for the Rubik's Cube in the state of Illinois. For the Pyramix, he's ranked 75th. In the 3x3, 56th. And for the 2x2, he's the 33rd best in the state. And that's why. And yes, of course I took a turn. Okay, that was cool.
I don't know how many of them will even remember it in the years to come, but certainly all of us will remember it.
It was a devastating day for Pastor Wes Connor when an EF2 tornado tore apart Mount Zion Baptist. However, he says it could have been much worse for the 40 children in the preschool if they weren't in this room.
And the children were all safe, completely unharmed, and apparently no trauma even experienced because our teachers did such a good job of keeping them calm.
Like Michelle Rush.
It was scary.
But that didn't keep them from jumping quickly to action.
We always did our monthly fire drills and tornado drills, so I knew what to do. But, I mean, I don't think anything really prepares you.
She admits everything rushed through her mind, but the same doesn't go for the kids.
They didn't think anything about it. They just thought they were going to stay in there and play, and they were fine until electricity went off, and then they got a little nervous, you know, but we were singing songs, and we gave them flashlights, and so then they were making shapes on the walls and stuff, so they were distracted.
Now that it's all over, dozens of helping hands come together to rebuild.
A church is people, a church is not buildings, but a lot of people have emotional attachments to this sanctuary.
Taking stock in this miracle and moving forward.
God always has a plan. So as awful as this is, I know He will use this for His benefit, and He will make us bigger and better than ever before.
Since Cody was 5 years old, and a little story I used to tell, he had a full fireman suit and a bag and a hat.
Christopher Mayor Gary Bartolotti remembers his grandson, Cody Van Fossen, who fulfilled a lifelong dream when he became a firefighter.
And one day we were up here and we walked over to the fire station and Chief Lutz was there. He looked up at him and he said, "Hey, if you need backup, just call me." And he had his fireman's bag and that. And that's been his dream, to be a fireman.
Mayor Bartolotti says his grandson, Cody's father, also a firefighter, and one other crew member had one of the more dangerous jobs on scene, as flames tore through this old building that housed a furniture store with apartments above it.
They went upstairs to make sure that there was no one up there at the time.
He says they were up there when their oxygen tanks started beeping, prompting them to leave. The first firefighter made it out okay, but as Cody's dad went down the stairs, Bartolotti says the steps collapsed under his feet.
They got him out. He crawled out. But they tried to go after Cody, but they couldn't get to him in time.
But while he and so many others here are heartbroken, Bartolotti feels Cody died doing what he always wanted to do.
As a mayor, but as a grandfather, it's sad, and there's no words to describe the way I feel but I'm proud of him.
It has an owner and we've contacted them before, but they can't catch the pig and we can't catch the pig, so the pig just kind of, it's a citizen at this point for all we know.
There is a very slippery swine in Heron right now, according to Animal Control Officer Madeline Holden. She goes by Porkchop, and she's avoided Holden and her co-workers for months.
Somehow it managed to slip loose, and it's been on the loose ever since.
After chasing Porkchop around for so long, she did have some tips on how to find her.
He loves to play with people's dogs. He hangs out around the dog park. He's got a real good friend named Harley.
So I went in search of Porkchop's best friend. I found Harley, but Porkchop wasn't around, although there were plenty of signs. Neighbors showed me spots where she likes to dig, even where she likes to rest in the woods. And before long, I found her. And she was way bigger than I thought. That's because people around here love this pig.
He gets fed table scraps at multiple locations. He goes to the park and roots around, eats there.
And I hear that the pig even goes and eats the cat food.
Joanne Clayton lives near Porkchop's favorite hangout. And like many, she adores her.
In fact, now I have a pig jerky or dog jerky, and so I'm kind of hoping she comes around.
And since no one can seem to catch her, the people of Heron decided to adopt her instead. I mean, come on. Porkchop's even got her own Facebook group with more than 650 members.
That's Harley.
It's kind of nice to have a little mini celebrity on your hands hanging around in a small town like Heron.
Live local now in Heron. Taylor Clark, Heartland News.